guys, thank you so much for joining us for this video today. I wanted to show you guys a few little things that we changed, big things that we changed in the garden actually, and it'll bring us to a topic that I think is really important to talk about, especially to people who are just getting into gardening, which I think I would consider myself in that category. But let me show you the changes first. Okay, if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, this space right here used to have cardboard here. I was trying to kill all the grass so that I could put in another in-ground bed and do a no-till style in-ground bed. And I still want to do that. I want to fill up the rest of this space to the fence with in-ground beds, but I'm not going to add any more this year. Until I decided not to put in that second in-ground bed, I didn't realize how it was kind of stressing me out, because when I put in this one, I needed to get a truckload or more of growing medium. And what I got horse manure that I found for free off of Facebook, but it was a lot of work to load it up. And I would have had to do that all again for there, and then get another load of wood chips to put on top or some sort of mulch. And it's just a lot of work, and it's already starting to kind of warm up here, so I just was dreading it. So what I decided to do instead was I took all that cardboard that was there and I spread it out around my raised beds. I did already have some before I moved all the other cardboard, but now I have almost completely covered the ground around my in-ground beds. So I moved all of my pots except a few and put them in this line over here. Looks a lot nicer this way, I think. I've got carrots growing in the bigger ones, and I think one of them has kale growing in it, but mostly carrots in the bigger pots, and then a variety of things in the smaller ones. Also, this is funny. It must have come from my compost, but I have a tomato growing up with my potatoes, which I think I'm just gonna let it grow. I think there's another one over here too. Maybe not, I don't know. But I do have some calendula on either end. That's gonna be lovely. If you guys want to be kept in the loop with my garden adventures and experiments, then hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you will be kept in the loop whenever I upload a new video. One more change. We filled this bed up. It took 10 bags, each 1 cubic foot of mushroom compost, and then we mixed in some lime, garden lime. It was off of the recommendation of one of the workers at Lowe's to mix the garden lime with the mushroom compost. I also plan on amending the soil with some worm castings when I plan on planting in there. So I'm gonna do tomatoes and flowers in this bed. So what I wanted to talk about is that if you're getting into gardening and you're still pretty new at it, I've been struggling with this a lot, and I'm trying to remind myself this every time I start getting stressed out about it, is that I do not need to do everything this year. I think this is a really good sized garden, but it's not really close to how big of a garden I would like eventually. But I'm not there yet. Still learning. I will always be learning, but we don't have to do it all at once. We can ease into it, and that I think will make the whole experience more enjoyable, less stressful, and we will retain more of the information if it is something we're having fun doing, rather than something that's like becoming a chore because if we just piled our plate so high with tasks in the garden. Actually, it just rained, so I blew this thing off of here. I need to fix that. But with that, it's just a little nugget of something I thought would be useful for other people to hear. You don't need to do it all, especially if you're new. Take it slow and don't rush into it all, because you'll be able to learn a lot better if you try to learn a few things at a time instead of everything all at once. I'm realizing that my hair is absolutely a mess. All right. There's a wasp stuck in this netting that I'm going to try to let it out without getting stung. Maybe I should put the baby down. On another note, I would like to report I have discovered what is eating my brassicas, my kales, cabbages, and radishes. Slugs. Slugs are eating my brassicas. So, what I learned last year of how to deal with slugs is you put beer traps out. You just put like a shallow little cup out in the area of your garden that the slugs are eating up and fill it with beer. So I did that, and unfortunately it rained today, but I think it works better if you put it out and have it sit out at night. I'm going to dump these cups out and put fresh beer in them for a little experiment, and then I will show you guys how many slugs I caught tomorrow. I'll add that to the end of this video. Let me show you another addition to the garden. It's just how I am planning on trellising things. I am making them a little more decorative. I got this idea from Jess and Maya from the Roots and Refuge, and then Molly from the Mini Acres. I saw them doing that for their garden, and I thought it was so fun. So I decided to follow in the trend. Let me show you. T-posts. All those cups are my beer traps. And then they got rained on and will be no longer good. I painted them blue. I think they look so nice. I am going to run twine from each one. I'm probably gonna do that here in a minute and let these peas grow up. Teddy wants to go inside. This fun little sweet mint that I bought from Lowe's today. Planning on just picking a spot in the yard, probably near the fence somewhere, and letting it spread. I think that'll be so cool. Have a lawn of mint instead of a lawn of regular grass. Okay, should we go inside? Should we finish this video up tomorrow? I think so. Hey guys, it is a couple of days later where we actually didn't have any more beer to do slug traps with that day that I filmed most of the content for this video, but I got some yesterday and I put more beer in my beer traps. And I'm gonna show you, first of all, let me show you this. Look at how this is filling out. Got the parsley filling out. These are radishes. And then snow peas, or sugar pod peas. And I just put this twine here in between my trellises to help it grow up. I'm gonna have to train it to do that though, because of it. I think naturally wants to cling to green things. Look at this radish right here. Look at that. It's so nice looking. It's got pine pollen all over it too. Okay, first slug in the beer trap. Okay, so far, none of the other ones have any slugs in them, but I'm sure there's more than one in here. So I'm just going to dump these out and keep putting fresh beer in them every night until I can harvest these radishes. Okay, so that's just the slug traps in this one next to the house. Let's go check the ones out in the garden and see if they caught anything. No slugs in this one. So that kind of tells me that what's eating these radishes might not be slugs. See any slugs in this one either. This bed really is not getting eaten up so bad. I think I might harvest some kale in a couple of days. That looks like I can get a couple leaves off of here. Just looked it up yesterday that you can actually use the leaves from kohlrabi as a substitute collard green. So I might try doing that. I just want to make sure that if I pick some of the leaves off of it, it's not gonna like make it so I don't get the actual kohlrabi stem. No slugs in here and no slugs in the one over there either. So I noticed a slug in the beds by the house. So that's why I put the beer traps out. And seeing that I only caught one slug over there, I kind of think that that might not be the problem elsewhere. I think I'll still put the beer traps out for the next couple of nights, but I think I'm going to also dust with some diatomaceous earth. I used DE as really my only pesticide last year, and it's supposed to help keep bugs away. So I think it acts like it kind of penetrates their exoskeleton and like breaks it, I think. I'm not entirely sure on that. I need to do a little more research, but I think that's what happens to them, so it kind of just kills them. I sprayed with the BT, and I think that helped this bed right behind me, because they seem to be doing a lot better, so that's really good. But other than that, I'm going to be putting a video up on the pesticides that I've been using and I will be using this year, because I think it's really important to start getting on top of that and having what you need in your arsenal for pest control, because it's so much better to get it ahead of time and to start preparing for that before you actually get something, because being on the offense after something has already happened, not going to help as much as if you already had measures in place to keep it from happening in the first place. So anyway, that's all for this video, guys. Thanks so much for sticking with me until the end. If you need a friend to learn how to garden with, I'm your girl. Happy gardening.